Hi, I be Abiding Tide, and welcome back to Derstory. After last night's editing session, I only got about 3 hours of sleep. So I'm going to focus today on a more not so intensive editing video. It's going to be more of a story, where I talk to you while the video plays in the background. And what I'm saying might not necessarily have anything to do with the video in the background. It does in this case, because I'm going to be talking about the sword quest in Destiny. I have the Void Sword, and many parts of that quest, whatever you want to call it, to get the sword, it was mostly fairly simple, but I started the exotic sword quest. I really wanted the exotic. It has 310 defense, and it looks really pretty. And it has a little swirly attack thing that does damage and area of effect, and that's something I really wanted. But yeah, the quest was rather frustrating. The initial part, I'm not sure if it was the first or not, was you had to get a certain amount, 50 I believe, of major kills, and a certain amount of player kills, 25. It's pretty simple to get 50 major kills, because as long as you can find them, you're probably going to kill them. Players, on the other hand, not necessarily the same. I can find many players, can't really kill them, because I suck. At first I thought I would have to wait for heavy weapon spawns to gather up my necessary 25 player kills in Crucible with the sword, but that's not the case. While searching the interwebs for quest information, I read a comment that said that a player was able to gather all 25 kills by just using the hilt. If you didn't know, if you don't have heavy weapon ammo, your sword is just a hilt when you wield it. The version where you have ammo, heavy weapon ammo, it's a one-hit kill on players. But without ammo, just the hilt, you have to hit them twice. You have to smack them in the face with the hilt twice. You end up looking like an idiot swinging your hilt around, oftentimes missing, but it is fun. That was the little workaround. It sped up the process. I'm glad I saw it before I actually started doing the quest. But the next part, the part where you have to get a certain material from a certain place, for example, Void swords require relic iron in order to make them in the first quest, like 25 relic iron. But in this part, you have to get certain quest items from the same nodes, but are much rarer. So every 15 little rocks of relic iron you mine, you get a relic crystal, a singular one, about every 15. That's pretty time consuming, but the worst part was the void ability kills part. You see, me being a procrastinator, a lazy guy, a lazy dude, I knew I had to finish this part of the quest before Wednesday, Arms Day, in order to continue on to the next part. On Tuesday night, after I finished playing with Casey, Lord Poseidon, I started on working through the rest of the quest. I was at about 50% of the way through. And since you don't know how many kills you need for the quest, it's a percentage-based progress bar, so I was at 50%. I went back to work, got the 2 last relic crystals I needed, and while I was running around Mars, I was throwing my grenades at enemies and hoping they'd die, trying to gather them into little groups so that they'd sit in my AoE. The annoying thing about stupid Void Vortex grenade on Night Stalker, since it doesn't do a lot of damage, they have to sit in it. But AI is pretty good about not sitting in grenades in area of effect damage. My grenades, the Void Vortex grenades, when you throw them in between enemies, it pushes them outside of the vortex. Yeah. So I'd have to very patiently shoot their health down until it was almost a sliver, and since my guns are pretty strong, it is hard to get it within that range. I could have switched to lower attack weapons, but I was too lazy. I tried to get their health down as much as possible and throw my grenades at them and hope it killed them. I'd also use my super, the Shadow Shot. I wasn't really sure which would be better, which variation would be better. I know, what is it called? Blood Bond tethers a bunch of enemies, and when you kill one, it does damage to every other enemy that's tethered. But I didn't know if when it killed an enemy, it would count towards the score. I just didn't know. And I didn't know if the normal, the black hole tether or whatever it's called, the one that increases the range of the little chains, void chains that connect to things. I didn't know if that would count towards the kills either, so I was using Quiver, trying to kill things 3 at a time with my super. But it was taking forever. After I got the last relic crystal I needed, I tried a trick people were talking about online in forums and answers to questions. I tried going into a certain quest, and killing a bunch of enemies, then dying at a certain point, and respawning, killing those enemies again. It worked for a little while. It was slow too, but it was a little better than trying to kill random roaming enemies that oftentimes are by themselves and never really run close to anything else. However, at about 57% or some weird number like that, it stopped working. I kept going and going and going, killing the enemies, dying, and restarting at that checkpoint to do it again. And every time I checked the quest progress, it was still 57%. So it looked like Bungie fixed that little... I wouldn't really call it an exploit, but it sort of is. I don't want to be one to exploit the game, but... I was incredibly frustrated. And I decided to try Crucible. I didn't know, in actuality, that player kills count a lot more than NPC kills. 1 player kill is like 5 NPC kills, so that progress bar goes up faster. My little bit of luck was Mayhem was the game type at the time. The little fun game type where all of your cooldowns are drastically and dramatically reduced, so you can throw your grenade every 5 seconds or so. Why didn't I think of that earlier? So going into Mayhem, I played a game, and I was close, man. I was really close. I played another, and then one more. I knew it. Just one more game, and I would have finished that part of the quest. Now, if I finished that part of the quest, the next part would be just waiting for Wednesday. And at the time, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday night. I'm a procrastinator. It was getting close to 2 a.m. when Arms Day would kick in, and I was getting so close. During the next match, I finally finished it. I finally finished the quest, but I had 5 minutes before 2 a.m., before that stupid reset. So I thought, fuck, I can't leave the game. There's no option in-game to leave an ongoing PvP match. Crucible, meh. So I had to restart my Xbox. Turning it back on took time. Getting the home screen to pop up took time. I loaded up Destiny, and then I tried to log into my character. 158. I knew it would take some time to get logged in, but I didn't think it would take very long. I thought I just need to get to orbit, go into the tower, run to Lord Shax or whatever his name is, and turn in the quest and accept the next part. And then boom, I'd have it. I'd be good to go. I could finish this quest this week, solo it, get my exotic sword. That's funny on two different counts. The first being, right when I got into orbit, it was 2 a.m. It took 5-ish minutes to load into orbit. Right when the game loaded, I saw on the right side of the screen a little pop-up that showed my Arms Day order in gold, saying, here you go, that gun you ordered last week. Here it is. You should be happy. It's like, oh, damn it. Well, this is incredibly disappointing. And so I proceeded to wait until the following week to finally get the Arms Day materials in so I can start the next part of the quest. However, The next part of the quest is what you're watching now. You have to kill a certain void dude in the Sunless Cell thing, Strike. Special, very hard edition of the Sunless Cell. Within 30 seconds of killing Alakul, or however you say his name. And as you see here, we failed. Just to top it all off, we already did this quest. We just killed the guys in the wrong order. You're supposed to kill the void shielded guy, and then kill Alakul within 30 seconds. And then you'll complete the quest. So we completed it, we killed him, and we didn't get the credit for it. I messaged Obi-Wan's Lost Bro asking if he got credit for the quest, if he was done, and he said no, neither of us did. So we went back in, tried again. This is the video of that depressing defeat. Oh. And I still haven't gotten the exotic sword yet. I'm hoping that with a little more coordination and teamwork, it'll be easier. We just gotta find someone who's willing to participate and communicate properly. So that's my little story for you about the sword quest. The moral of the story is read the text in the quest to make sure you do it right, so you don't have to do it again. We failed so many times, it was ridiculous. Thank you for watching. This was a little less effort than my normal videos. I'm hoping to do a lot of creative and interesting videos in the future. This weekend I plan on getting as many videos out as I possibly can and sharing my fun with you. I plan on playing games like Guild Wars, even though I can't monetize that, Final Fantasy 14, the new one, new online MMORPG, things like DDA Cataclysm, and I'm going to link to a specific video on how to enjoy such games like that. Thanks again for watching, and here's my outro.